Okay guys, the first exercise I hit was a dumbbell chest press. This would be in a flat chest press. But what I did is that I banded it. So I put that band around the dumbbells and then around my back in order to cause a bigger resistance profile to happen at the top. Normally with dumbbell presses, what happens is when you get to the top, there's no tightness, there's no resistance for the chest. So banding it and forcing the dumbbells together actually causes me to have to produce more of a contraction in my chest as I press. Okay, I would have moved on to some landmine presses. Again, we're using the band in order to create more tension for the muscles. We're taking out that little small area where we would have lost tension due to it becoming easy as we pass a sticking point, and we would have added the band in to make sure that we deal with some accommodating resistance. As we can see, that last portion of the exercise is actually a little harder than it generally would have been. If you've ever done a landmine press, then you know that when you press your hand up and you get past maybe that halfway position, then the landmine becomes easy. Now, the reason why I like to choose split stance presses and split stance landmines is so that it incorporates even more of my core, especially my obliques, and in some fashion part of my glutes, in order to stay in this position. I would have decided to perform a drop set, a mechanical drop set. I took off that band so it becomes a little easier. This would have been like the equivalent of maybe dropping the weight and continuing the exercise. So even with this drop set that I'm doing, I don't go all the way up because I still want to have constant tension on the muscles that are working. I progressed from here into a double landmine press. We're going to squeeze the hands together so that we hit part of the middle and upper chest as we perform this exercise. Again, I started with the band, and then I am going to take off the band and perform the rest of the exercise. So I realized that possibly that band was a little too easy, and I needed to double it up in order to make it harder. There we go. Now, landmine presses are really easy to set up at home if you don't have much equipment. We just need a towel. We need to push that towel into the corner so we don't mash up the floor or the wall, and we're just placing the barbell and the weight on one side of the barbell for us to use as a pivot and press. Again, making use of mechanical drop sets in order to squeeze a little more contraction out of the muscles and really get them working. Okay, so I would have moved on to some band abductions. So with the band abductions, what I'm doing is I'm trying to squeeze my chest as hard as possible as I cross over these bands. This is the equivalent of a cable crossover. I try to do it in a horizontal position so that I hit those fibers that are going across the chest. And then I paired this exercise with some pec decks so that we really stretched out the muscle fibers of the chest, especially in that return position there, where you can see that my chest is actually stretched out as we return to base. So the pairing of these two exercises, oh, look at that. I tossed in a isometric hold to really crank up everything. And then I think after this, I would have progressed into trying to get as many as I could get out of it. It really burned though. So yeah, The reason why I chose these two exercises together is because the crossover allows for a big squeeze in the chest, while this provides a greater range of motion. Thank you. That has been my push day.